शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे मुकुं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। Wonderful. Thank you, Mataji, for joining. Today, we are covering chapter 10 Techniques of Hearing and Remembering. So, when we talk about what are the core things in devotional life, one is chanting, which we already know, and these are two other most important, which is reading and hearing, which is a very important part in techniques of hearing and remembering. So how can we actually hear about Krishna and we remember? Because when we talk about when our last breath comes, we don't have capability to actually read or hear or whatever it is. But whatever we have practiced throughout the life, there is a high probability we will remember that at that time. Antakale cha mameva. So when the last moment comes, what we remember decides what is our next destination. So this is very crucial. So here Srila Rupa Goswami is talking about the hearing. The beginning of Krishna consciousness and devotional service start with hearing, in Sanskrit called as Shravanam. So which is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So Shravanam is a first in aspect where we hear about Krishna and we inquire about Krishna. All people should be given the chance to come and join devotional parties so that they may hear. This hearing is very important for progressing in Krishna consciousness. One who links his ears to the transcendental vibration through oral reception quickly become purified and cleansed in the heart. So we use all our senses to actually practice devotional service. We purify all our senses, and the most important sense other than the lips through which we basically chant the name of Krishna, what we do even while we are chanting, the point of focusing on chanting is whatever mantra we are chanting we should hear. So they ears play a very crucial role. A lot of times in devotional service, not actually a lot of times, all the time, we hear so much about Krishna. We can't see Krishna, but we can see Krishna through our ears, because when we hear about Krishna, we see the different beauty about Krishna, we see or hear different pastimes about Krishna, that opens our heart, and then we start visualizing Krishna. So hearing is a very important part in devotional life. One who links his ears to the transcendent through oral reception quickly becomes purified and cleansed in the heart. Lord Chaitanya has affirmed that his this hearing is very important. It cleanses the heart of contaminated soul. That's our current stage. Our soul is not pure, it is contaminated. And it has to be clean, it has to be uncontaminated. And the most important and most sublime process is basically hearing and understanding about Krishna consciousness. In Garud Puran, thank you Naresh Prabhu for joining. In Garud Puran, there is a stress given on hearing. And what does that says? It says the state of conditioned life, which is our life right now, in the material world is just like that of a man lying unconscious, having been bitten by a snake. This is because both such unconscious states can be ended by the sound of mantra. So you see, this is very beautiful actually. Even in scripture, we see so many examples where the dead people actually were woken up just by the power of mantra. So when the person is actually dead or person is unconscious, the only sense which work is the ears, because you can't see, you can't actually visualize anything. But ears are the one which are always open. And even it is said, even the people when they are in coma, the only sense which can actually reciprocate is just the ears, because the people can still hear. And when a man is snake bitten, he does not die immediately, but first becomes unconscious and remains in comatose condition. Anyone who is in the material world is also sleeping, as he is ignorant of actual self or his actual duty and his relationship with God. So, materialistic life means that one is bitten by a snake of Maya or illusion, and thus, without any Krishna consciousness, one is all as good as dead. Now, the so called dead man bitten by a snake can be brought back to life by chanting of some mantra. There are expert chanters of these mantra who can perform this feat. Similarly, one can be brought back into Krishna consciousness from a deadly consciousness, unconscious state of material life by hearing the Maha Mantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is very important. What is the highest stage of devotional service one can achieve by chanting is when you hear your chanting. That is the only way you can actually purify your heart. But if we are chanting, if we are not our mantra, then the effect is very very minimal, the outcome is very very minimal. And that is why hearing is such an important aspect even while chanting, because at the end of the day, we are not parrots. Parrots also can recite mahamantra. But what's the difference between parrot and us? Parrot will not hear what it is doing, but we are conscious that we are chanting the name of Krishna. So we have to be conscious. And how can we be conscious? Is by hearing that Mahamantra, every Mahamantra we chant. In the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 29 chapter, verse 40, the importance of hearing the pastime of Lord is stated by Sukadev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit. Maharaj Parikshit is about to die in 7 days. And he says, my dear king, one should stay at a place where the great acharyas or holy teachers speak about the transcendental activities of the Lord. And one should give oral reception to the nectarine river flowing from the moon-like faces of such great personalities. Trust me, we so lightly may talk about Parikshit Maharaj that he's going to die in 7 days. But if we put ourselves in his shoes, imagine what will be our consciousness when we know that we are going to die in 7 days. We'll be bewildered what to do. What Parikshit Maharaj has such a clarity. He immediately left everything, and what is the thing he is doing? He is hearing Krishna Katha for 7 days and 7 nights, without eating, without drinking, without sleeping, with complete rapt attention. He is listening. He is hearing Krishna Katha. If and he has an eagerness, if someone eagerly continues to hear such transcendental sound, then certainly he will become freed from all material hunger, thirst, fear and lamentation. Very important actually. You see this example. Parikshit Maharaj, never see Srimad Bhagavatam that he's asking for, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, or seen he is eating something, or while listening Srimad Bhagavatam he is eating. No, this is very important actually. And he is not even being fearful. It is said, before even Parikshit Maharaj, before even the Takshak snake came to bit Parikshit Maharaj already left actually to spiritual world. So he just bit his body, which he already left before, and he was not at all fearful. Very important, because why people are worrisome about death? Because they are fearful. Arey, what would happen? I lose my identity. I will have to go through so much suffering when I die. But when one hears very attentively, one can cross shoka moha bhaya paha. Shoka means lamentation, bhaya means fear. They can just overcome that one. There is no thirst, there is no material hunger or any of that stuff. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also recommended this process of hearing as a means of self realization in the present age of Kali. In this age, it is very difficult to follow thoroughly the regulative principle and studies of Vedas because we have such a short memory. We don't remember what we discussed even a couple of weeks back, or what talk about couple of weeks just last week. So it's very easy, actually, rather than studying Vedas, is to hear Krishna Katha. And you can hear any time and any place. Like you are using restroom, waste of time, you are taking a bath, or you are cooking, you are honoring prasad, or driving, or you're just sitting, you're tired and you are sitting relaxed on the couch, you can play Krishna Katha. There is no active involvement needed from that perspective. Most easiest process is to hear. Even for reading, you will have to actually put some endeavor to understand. But hearing is the most easiest aspect of Krishna consciousness. However, if one gives oral reception to the sound vibration by the great devotees and acharya, that alone will give him relief from all material contamination. Therefore, it is recommendation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that one should simply hear from authorities who are actually devotees of the Lord. Very important. One needs to know the qualification of a person who's speaking. If that person, though he speak a great philosophy, but he is not a devotee of Krishna, that will never give us a. The words may feel you happy. Oh wow, this is go great, but it will not transform your heart. For heart to be transformed, the other person has to have a purity of Krishna consciousness. If we hear from those who are actually self-realized, then the nectarine river, like those which are flowing on the moon planet, will flow into our ears. Can you imagine? On moon planet, there are nectar flows there. So when we hear Krishna Katha, the same nectar can enter through our ears. This is the metaphor used in above verse. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, a materialist person can give up his material hankering only by becoming situated in Krishna consciousness. Because we are shoka, moha, attachment, bhaya in this material world. And only way we can actually overcome that is by being situated in Krishna consciousness. And what is the meaning of Krishna consciousness? Is being conscious of Krishna. Remembering Krishna is maja. Tumi ho mata, tumi ho pita. Tumi ho bandhu, tumi ho mata, tumi ho pita, tumi ho bandhu, sakha tumi ho. Unless one finds a superior engagement, he will not be able to give up his inferior engagement. So true. Today, we have so many engagements which are non Krishna conscious because we don't have a taste in hearing and chanting names of Krishna. So it just becomes a burden that I have to chant 16 rounds. I'm calling myself here as well. So in the material world, everyone is engaged in illusory activities of inferior energy. But when one is given the opportunity to relish the activities of superior energy performed by Krishna, that person forgets all his lesser pleasures. When Krishna speaks on battlefield of Kurukshetra to materialistic person, it appears that this is simply talk between two friends, but actually it is a river of nectar flowing down from the mouth of Sri Krishna. Oral reception to such vibration, and thus he became freed from all the illusion of material problems. Just by hearing Krishna Katha. Whole Bhagavad Gita has just one this theme. Krishna speaking, Arjuna is attentively listening. Just give me 1 second, I'll be back here 1 second. Yeah, sorry about that. So, yeah, this is Krishna speaking Bhagavad Gita, and Arjuna is listening that. In 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, third chapter, verse 15, it is stated, a person who desires unalloyed devotional service. What is our devotional services? Our devotional service is mixed devotional service. We still have our material attachment. We still have hankering in this material world. We still have material desires. We don't have only spiritual desires. So it's not unalloyed at this moment. But when one who desires unalloyed devotional service to Lord Krishna, who is praised by transcendental sound vibration, should always hear about his glorification and transcendental qualities. We ideally want to reach to that platform where we do not have mixed devotional service. We have a pure devotional service performed only for the pleasure of Krishna, not that I have some hidden agendas behind it. This will surely kill all kind of inauspicious things in the heart. So any comments on this section or any points which you want to discuss? Makes sense so far?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, beautiful. Expecting the Lord's mercy. This is a very, very crucial section, because when we all are practicing devotional service, what is the desire? Maybe one day we will see Krishna whose name we are chanting. When will I get Krishna's mercy? Because we go through so many tribulations in our life, and then so many difficulties in our life in so many aspects, thinking that one day Krishna will take me out of this difficulty. One day Krishna will actually bring me back to him, and that is the way he showers his mercy. So how to expect the Lord's mercy is the section we are discussing. In the 10th canto, which is actually considered like a face of Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam is divided into 12 cantos. So, up to 9 cantos, the major descriptions talk about Krishna's devotees, how they go through difficult times, how they face difficulties, how they become victorious. And 10th canto is actually fully dedicated on qualities and pastimes of Krishna. So in 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse 8, it said, my dear Lord, any person who is constantly awaiting your causeless mercy to be bestowed upon him, and who goes on suffering the resultant action of his past misdeeds, offering you respectful obeisances from the core of his heart, is surely eligible to become liberated, for it has become his rightful claim. This is actually a prayer offered by Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma, very powerful prem. Tatenu kampa susamikshamano. My dear Lord, any person who is constantly awaiting, like you see Chataka bird. Chataka bird is always looking when will actually that raindrop fall from the sky. And he doesn't compromise anything. Whatever reservoir water available, he never uses any water. He just wait for the first drop of water coming from rain cloud. And sometimes in that, actually the lightning comes and he loses even his life, but he is never compromising. In scripture they talk about even that bird when he's falling from the sky, from the tree, waiting for that first drop of water. He doesn't put his mouth down when he goes down, falling down. He still keeps his mouth up, that mistake some other should not go in my mouth. And this is the meaning of constantly awaiting. And that person is going through suffering of the resultant action of, suffering through the karma, the reaction of that karma, and offering you respectful obeisances from the core of his heart. He is just praying, my Lord, I don't even deserve your mercy. I'm so sinful. I'm supposed to suffer eternally. But you are so merciful. Somehow, by this small resultant action, or this small suffering, you're taking away all my karma. And that person is eligible for to actually enter into the spiritual world. The statement of Srimad Bhagavatam should be the guide of all devotees. A devotee should not expect immediate relief from the reaction of his past misdeeds. No conditioned soul is free from such reactionary experiences because material existence means continued suffering or enjoying of past activities, punya and papa. If one has finished his material activities, then there is no more birth. This is possible only when one begins Krishna conscious activities. So I want to congratulate you. You have already entered into the college of getting out of cycle of birth and death. Now we have to pass through it because such activities do not produce reaction. Therefore, as soon as one becomes perfect in Krishna conscious activities, he is not going to take birth again in the material world. A devotee who is not perfectly freed from resultant action should therefore continue to act in Krishna consciousness seriously, even though there may be so many impediments. When such impediments arise, one should simply think of Krishna and expect his mercy. That is the only solace. If devotee passes that spirit, it is certain that he is going to be promoted to the abode of the Lord. बटर लगाना है पूरा उसको स्प्रेड कर अभी ठंडा होने देना उसको by such activities he earns his claim to enter into the kingdom of God. The exact word used in this verse is dhaya bhak. Dhaya bhak refers to sons becoming the lawful inheritor of the property of father. In a similar way, a pure devotee who is prepared to undergo all kind of tribulation and executing Krishna conscious duties becomes lawfully qualified to enter into the transcendental abode. That is our rightful claim to actually go back to spiritual world. And how do we actually make that happen is when we practice devotional service, we expect that things will not go the way I am looking for. There will be turbulations which is going to come in my life. And during that period of time, I become even more grateful to the Lord. And without breaking my faith, I actually intensify my devotional service, not minimize that. So, right now, when our health is good, we should use that time to actually sincerely pray for Krishna. But when the health goes down, not that we compromise our sadhana, we still continue that. And that is the test of our devotional service. Any questions here?
No, Prabhu.
Very important section that was remembrance. This is like I was just speaking, Naresh Prabhu, before you joined, and at last minute, it says life is a preparation and death is an exam. And what we remember at that time decides the destination. So this is a very important section and chapter altogether. Some way or other, if someone establish in his mind his continuous relationship with Krishna, this relationship is called remembrance. About this remembrance, there is a nice statement in Vishnu Purana where it is said, simply by remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all living entities become eligible for all kind of auspiciousness. Therefore, let me always remember the Lord who is unborn and eternal. In Padma Purana, the same remembrance explained as follows. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Supreme Lord Krishna, because if someone remembers him, either at the time of a death or during his span of life, he becomes free from all sinful reaction. What a wonderful benediction. Can you imagine? Ajamil just chanted one time name of Narayan, and Vishnu Dutas came to actually take him out. Now what is meditating on the Lord? To meditate means to engage the mind in thinking of the form of the Lord, the qualities of the Lord, the activities of the Lord, and service of the Lord. Meditation does not mean anything impersonal or void, just close your eyes, meditate on some light. No. According to Vedic literature, meditation is always on form of Lord Vishnu. In Narsimha Purana, there is a statement about meditation on the form of Lord. It is said there, meditation focusing on the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead has been accepted as a transcendental and beyond the experience of material pain and pleasure. By such meditation, even one who is grossly miscreant can be delivered from sinful reaction of his life. Ajamil's best example. How sinful he was. But by mistake, even he chanted the name of Narayan. What a destination this guy receives. So there is so much of hope for us as long as we stay in the boat and don't give up. Don't go from 16 to 14 to 12 to 10 and then go away. As long as we still continue that. In Vishnu Dharma, there is a statement about meditation on the transcendent qualities of the Lord. It is said persons who are constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness and who remember the transcendental qualities of the Lord become free from all reactions of sinful activities. And after being so cleansed, they become fit to enter into the kingdom of God. In other words, no one can enter into the kingdom of God without being freed from all sinful reaction. Our account has to be neutral, completely clear, no credit, no debit. And Holy Name assists us on that. Holy Name is the way actually to get out of that, remembering, chanting the name of Krishna. One can avoid sinful reactions simply by remembering the Lord's form, qualities, pastimes, etc. In Padma Purana, there is a statement about remembering the activities of the Lord. A person who is always engaged in meditation on the sweet pastimes and wonderful activities of the Lord surely becomes freed from all material contamination. What do Vrajavasis do? What does Yashoda Maya do? What does Krishna's friends do? Whole day, whole night, every moment about Krishna, talking about Krishna, hearing about Krishna, playing with Krishna, meditating on Krishna's pastimes. And that is the perfection of life. In some of the Puranas, the evidence is given that if someone is simply meditating on devotional activities, he has achieved the desired result and has seen faith. Sorry, simply by meditating on devotional activities, he has achieved the desired result and has seen face to face the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this connection, there is a story in Brahma Vivarta Purana, that is in the city of Pratishtanapura in South India. There was once a Brahmana who was not very well to do, but who was nevertheless satisfied in himself, thinking that it was because of his past misdeeds by the desire of Krishna that he did not get sufficient money and opulence. So he was not at all sorry for his poor material position and he used to live very peacefully. He was very open hearted and sometimes he went to hear some lectures delivered by great realized soul. At once, such meeting, while he was very faithfully hearing about Vaishnava activities, he was informed that these activities can be performed even by meditation. In other words, if a person is unable to actually perform Vaishnava activities physically, he can meditate upon a Vaishnava activities and thereby acquire all of the same results. Very important actually, because some of the people are not physically capable enough, or there are certain limitations because of which you are not able to go to temple or you're not able to perform certain activities. But even just by meditating, one receives the same result. And because the Brahmana was not very well to do financially, he decided that he would simply meditate on the grand, royal devotional activities, and he began his business thus. What does he did? Sometimes he would take his bath in river Godavari. After taking his bath, he would sit in a secluded place on the bank of river. And by practicing yoga exercise of pranayama, the usual breathing exercise, he would concentrate his mind. These breathing exercises are meant for mechanically fix the mind upon a particular subject. Is the result of breathing exercise and also of the different sitting postures of yoga. Formerly, even quite ordinary person used to know how to fix the mind upon the remembrance of the Lord. And so the Brahmanas were doing this. When he had fixed the form of the Lord in his mind, he began to imagine his meditation that he was dressing the Lord very nicely in costly clothing with ornaments, helmets, and other paraphernalia. Then he offered his respectful obeisances by bowing down before the Lord. After finishing the dressing, he began to imagine that he was cleaning the temple very nicely. After cleaning the temple, he imagined that he had many water jugs made of gold and silver. And he took all those jugs to the river and filled them with the holy water. Not only did he collect water from Godavari, but he collected from Ganges, Yamuna, Narmada, Kaveri, because they are such far places. But in mind, you can always do and take water from these. Generally, a Vaishnava, while worshipping the Lord, collects water from all these rivers by mantra chanting. This Brahmana, instead of chanting some mantra, imagined that he was physically securing water from all these rivers in golden and silver golden parts. Then he collected all kinds of paraphernalia for worship: flower, fruits, incense, sandalwood pulp. He collected everything to place before the deity. All these waters, flowers, scented articles were then very nicely offered to the deity. to their satisfaction. Then he offered arati with regulative principle. He finished all these activity and correct worshipping method. He would daily execute similar performance as his routine work. He continued to do so for many, many years. Then one day the Brahmana imagined in meditation that he had prepared some sweet rice with milk and sugar, offered the preparation to deity. However, he was not very satisfied with the offering because sweet rice had been prepared recently and it was still very hot. This preparation sweet rice should not be taken hot. The cooler the sweet rice, the better its taste. So, because the sweet rice had been prepared by Brahmana very recently, he wanted to touch it so that he could know whether it was fit for eating by the Lord. As soon as he touched the sweet rice pot with his finger, he immediately was burnt by the heat of the pot. This is all happening in the mind, then how his finger got burned? In this way, his meditation broke. Now, when he looked at his finger, he saw it was burned, and he was wondering astonishment how this could have happened because he was simply meditating on touching the hot sweet rice. He never thought that this finger would actually become burned. While he was thinking like this in Vaikuntha, Lord Narayan, seated with the goddess of fortune, Mother Lakshmi, began to smile humorously. On seeing the smiling of the Lord, all the goddess of fortune attending the Lord became very curious and asked Lord Narayan why he was smiling. The Lord, however, did not reply to this inquisitiveness, but instead immediately sent for the Brahmana. An aeroplane sent from Vaikuntha immediately brought the Brahmana into Lord Narayan's presence. When the Brahmana was thus present before the Lord and the goddess of fortune, the Lord explained the whole story. The Brahmana was then fortunate enough to get an eternal place in Vaikuntha in the association of Lord and his Lakshmis. This shows how the Lord is all pervading in spite of his being locally situated in his abode. Although the Lord was present in Vaikuntha, he was present also in the heart of Brahmana when he was meditating on worshipping process. Thus, we can understand that these things offered by devotees, even in meditation, are accepted by the Lord and they help one achieve the desired result. What a beautiful story, isn't it? What do you think
Yes,
of the
Prabhu.
story? Even in the mind, because he realized he is so poor, he cannot do that. And physically, even if you are absolutely perfect, physically getting the water from Ganga, Yamuna, Narmada, Sindhu, Kaveri, oh, you have to go far, far places actually to get that water. But in meditation, that's where it's all about consciousness. It's all about your intention. Very, very important actually. And that is a very important substance. So today what we discussed is, first and foremost, we talked about hearing, how hearing is so important. We spoke about Parikshit Maharaj, how he focused on hearing and perfected his life. After hearing, we talked about expecting the Lord's mercy. We gave an example about Lord Brahma's prayers, that one who goes through difficulty in life but never forgets Krishna. Then we talked about how can we remember Lord. And then we talked about how to meditate on the Lord, and we gave this example of this Brahmana who was actually meditating on this beautiful form of the Lord and offering everything. Any questions or comments?
No, Prabhu. I just wanted to share because yesterday I was I was sitting on, and then I was just listening to Sri Krishna's 108 names of the in the Bengali kirtan.
Yeah,
It was so good. Like I even download the bhajan, um,
yeah.
but in Bengali. It is in Bengali, but it's
Language is not a barrier for Krishna.
it's absolutely like breathtaking. And then there is few other one, like Gornitai
Mm.
bhajan. It was very nice. Like I don't know, I don't have association with other devotees like that. So whenever I have time, I can just turn on the YouTube and
Absolutely.
have this bhajan and just like lyric, like I have the download so I can sing it with it at the same time. So in a
Actually,
way.
in the other forum, what I do is I give them a class of Srila Prabhupada every week to listen. So one class a week. I think I should do that in this group also. That I'll give you one class. You listen. You have pretty much whole week to listen. You're welcome to hear more classes as well. But you hear, contemplate on that, make some notes, and that becomes like a homework. I know we are old enough now. We don't need homework, but that basically is the wonderful way uh, sh- to actually work on hearing.
Yeah, so the hearing part is really, it is actually very peaceful when you
Yeah,
hear it, and then in this, if you can able to sing at the same time, there's nothing like it.
yeah, absolutely. Listening a bhajan as well as this very structured way we have to hear and all that stuff. Every week, one Prabhupada's class. I will share in this group also. And if you don't mind just listening and just keep me posted saying that, okay, I listened the class, it just gives me some reciprocation happening here. Is
Sure.
that okay, everyone?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure, bro.
okay, thank you. So we will start chapter 11 also. We will cover some aspect of it. Aspect of transcendental service, servitorship. So we are talking about different moods here. In the opinion of karmis, which is people who are karmi, fruitive worker, offering the results of karma is called servitorship. But according to Vaishnava Acharya like Rupa Goswami, servitorship means constant engagement in some kind of service to the Lord. Chanting is one of the service of the Lord. Listening and hearing is also the service of the Lord. Offering, that is also service of the Lord. In Skanda Purana, it is said that those who are attached to the ritualistic activities, the four orders of life which we know, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasi, and the four orders of spiritual life. Sorry, social order is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, and then four orders of spiritual life is Brahmana, Grasta, sorry, Brahmachari, Grasta, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas are considered devotees. But when devotees are actually engaged in offering service to the Lord directly, there must be Bhagavatas to pure devotees. Those who are engaged in fruitive activities or prescribed duties according to four orders of social and spiritual life are not actually pure devotees. If I'm just a brahmachari, Vaishya, sannyasi, or any of that stuff, but if I'm not offering service to the Lord, it's not considered to be pure. But still, because they are offering the results to the Lord, they are accepted as devotees. But when one has no such desire for but acts spontaneously out of love of God, such as person must be accepted as pure devotee. Not that this is my duty I have to offer. That person is out of uncontrolled heart wants to do the service to the Lord. The conditioned souls who have come into the contact with material world are all more or less desirous of lording it over material nature. The system of varnashrama and prescribed duty under this system are so designed that the conditioned soul may enjoy in material world according to his desire for sense gratification and at the same time gradually become elevated to spiritual understanding, especially different yogas like karma yoga. Under these prescribed duties of Varna and Ashram, there are many activities which belong to devotional service in Krishna consciousness. Those devotees who are householder accept Vedic ritualistic performance as well as prescribed duty for devotional service because both are meant for satisfying Krishna. We just the other um, session which Amita Mataji is part of it, we are reading chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita. And we are speaking about what is the importance of offering a yajna. Very important. When householder devotees perform some Vedic ritualistic duty, they do so to satisfy Krishna, as we have previously discussed. Any activity aiming at satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead is considered devotional service, whether it is bhoga offering, chanting the name of Krishna, singing the bhajan of Krishna, reading about Krishna, is all on the same plane. Srila Rupa Goswami describes one who is fit for becoming engaged in devotional service. He says that the persons who are neophyte and who have developed a little love of Godhead are not interested in activities for sense gratification in proportion to their devotion. But if there is still some extraction for sense gratifying activity, then the result of such activity should be offered to Krishna. I need best car. Oh, I love the cars. I love food. Let's offer everything to Krishna. This is also called as engagement in the service of the Lord, with the Lord as the master and work as a servant. In Naradiya Purana, there is a statement of how this servitorship is transcendental. It is said that there that a person who is constantly engaged in devotional service by his body, mind, and words, very important. I was just speaking yesterday in one of the class. When we perform arti of the Lord, we engage our body, mind, words in the service of the Lord. It's very engaging activity. Chanting is an engaging activity. Reading is and hearing is also an engaging activity from that perspective. We can put our thoughts, words, body, words, and mind in service. Even a person who is not practically engaged but is simply desiring to be do so is considered to be liberated. Now, devotional service in the mood of friendship. We will read different moods here. Devotional service and friendship can be divided into two categories. The first is to act as a confidential servant of the Lord, like the Gopas, and the other is to act as a well wisher of the Lord. The devotee who has confidence in devotional service to the Lord systematically follows the rules and regulation with the faith that he will achieve the platform of transcendental life. The second type of devotional relations to become a well-wisher of Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the Lord accepts as a preacher as the most dear servant. When one actually gives message of Krishna to others, is that person is very dear to Krishna. Anyone who is preaching the confidential message of Gita to the people in general is so dear to Krishna that no one can be equal to him in human society because he is taking charge to actually give Krishna to others. And Draupadi says, "My dear Govinda, your promise is that your devotee can never be vanished. I believe in that statement. Therefore, in all kind of tribulation, I simply remember your promise, and thus I live." The purport is that Draupadi and her five husbands, the Pandavas, were put into severe tribulations by the cousin brother Duryodhana as well as by others. The tribulations were so severe that even Bhishmadev, who was both a lifelong brahmachari and a great warrior, would sometimes shed tears thinking of them. He was always surprised that although the Pandavas were so righteous and Draupadi was practically the goddess of fortune, her name was actually Krishna as well. And although Krishna was their friend, still they had to undergo such severe tribulation. Though their tribulations were not ordinary, Draupadi was not discouraged. She knew that because Krishna was their friend, ultimately they would be saved. Give me one more second, I'll come back. Yeah, sorry about it. I'm back here. So we were talking about Draupadi and Pandavas. They went through so much difficulty, but they had complete faith that Krishna is their savior. So sometimes people ask, why I'm facing difficulty in my though I'm taking up devotional service. One should think about the example of Pandavas, not get discouraged that why it is happening to me. We are ultimately whatever our accounts are there to settle down that account. We are here struggling, but when we settle down that account by remembering Krishna, that's the most important. We are not here to finish out our karma. We are here to remember Krishna. The karmas will anyhow will taken care of. But important part is that to remember Krishna while we are going through difficulty. Then it will be easier to actually go through that difficulty because we feel that there is someone who is with us. There was a person would every time he would walk, he would see 2 feet of his, and he would also see the Lord's feet along with him. And when he was going through difficulty, he saw only 2 feet. So he started calling on the Lord, "My dear Lord, when things were going nicely, you were walking with me. Now, when my difficult times are there, you ran away." Lord said, "No, my dear child, Those feet, two footprints which you see on the land or on the sand, those are mine and I am holding you in my lap. This is the beauty about Krishna consciousness. A similar statement is there in 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd chapter, verse 53, where Havish, the son of King Rishabh, addressed Maharaj Nimi, my dear king, a person who never deviates even for a moment from engagement in the service at the Lord of the Supreme Person. Engagement which is sought even by the great demigod like Indra, with firm conviction that there is nothing more worshipable or desirable than this, is called the first class devotee. Who is the first class devotee? Who engages in the service of the Lord with firm conviction there is nothing more worshipable or desirable than Sudama. He was a friend of Krishna. So poor, he did not even have a meal of food. One may say, Are, why Krishna's devotee has to struggle that way? But he never had a desire that I need. He went to Krishna to see him. His wife actually sent him. Why don't you go and see your friend? Just beg for a couple of alms so that we can at least, don't struggle for the food. Not that he went for taking something more. When he went to Krishna, he did not even ask anything to Krishna. When he came back, his house was transformed into a palace. His wife was looking so beautiful, wearing wonderful ornaments. His son was very beautiful, handsome. So Lord our provides, but one has to have a firm faith that I don't need anything, my Lord. I just want to serve you. And that's an important part. Sri Rupa Goswami says that a neophyte devotee who has simply developed a slight love for Godhead is certainly a prospective candidate for devotional service. So much of hope for us. When one becomes firmly fixed in such devotional service, that assured status becomes a confidential part of his devotional service. Sometimes it is found that a pure devotee lies down in the temple of the Lord in order to serve him as a confidential friend. Such friendly behavior of a devotee may be accepted as raganuga. We are not at that platform which is spontaneous. Although, according to regulated principles, one can lie down in the temple of Supreme Personality of Godhead. This spontaneous love of Godhead may be grouped under devotional service and friendship. So, that is the first one we covered today. And I think we will stop here. Any comments or questions? Can go ahead?
Prabhu, it's no question, but well, kind of. Um, I heard that Krishna is a merciful God. Anyhow, but Lord Jagannath is like, um,
More mercy.
is he's like he won't even move when the devotees is not there. So it's the only one god in our in
Mm.
whole Indian ancient, all of the gods that is there in India, is the only one god that he comes out from
Yeah,
the
yeah,
temple every year to see
yes,
devotees.
yes.
And he is such a nutcut, like the naughty, the devotee that like naughty god that they say. Like he won't even move an inch from one side to another, or no one, like so many, I saw those videos, like there is so many people, like a huge guys, and they're trying to move him. He's not moving.
Yeah.
He
Madhu,
has his own
elephants sometimes cannot move the rath.
Yeah, it's like no one is moves. It's like sometimes then you're like, you know what, we're gonna have to keep trying. And because there's somehow some devotees is probably back there, it's still not there yet or something, and when he comes or when she comes, that's the time that he will move, otherwise he won't move.
That is so true.
Oh my god, it's just, and then also there's few things like if you touch a rath yatra, the rope,
Mm.
if you can touch the rope in your lifetime at least once in
Yeah,
Jagannath Puri,
yeah,
or once you go, you have to have the Jagannath Puri Prasad.
yeah.
Then use your like all of like Vaishnavas or Krishna conscious people, they can at least have that, like the for going to Bankam or something, it can happen easily.
Absolutely, Madhuri. Jagannath is not different from Krishna. He is the same Lord.
Yeah.
So when
without
you
the eyelids.
with it, which is correct, because he is always eager to see his devotees.
Yes.
He can't close his eyes. I want to see the devotees. Where are they? I'm missing them. I'm missing them. Where are they? Where are they? So we are
Yeah.
talking the same personality here.
Yeah, it's that the cutest personality ever. That because all this katha
Correct?
that I have been hearing about the Jagannath, Lord Jagannath, and the Krishnas, of course. Krishna
Yes.
is a Natkhat Gopal, or the like. I always see him as a small kid,
Yeah, which is also fine.
but when I see Lord Jagannath, it's the total different thing. I guess. I mean, I can.
There is no problem with that. This is wonderful actually. When we talk about Krishna, we are talking about Krishna, whether in the form of Lord Jagannath, whether you call in terms of Bal Gopal, same person. It says there is a beautiful bhajan by Vasudeva Ghosh, Jai Krishna, sorry, Jai Gaura, Sai Krishna, Sai Jagannath,
Yeah.
which means what? The same
जो
Gaura,
जो
the
जो
same
गौरांग है वही कृष्णा है, वही जगन्नाथ
वही
है.
जगन्नाथ है। अब सेम पर्सनालिटी है तो क्या सेम ही चीज है ना।
Yes.
So it is the love is same. These three personality are same. When one is love with Gauranga Mahaprabhu, is same as Krishna and same as Jagannath. So there is no difference there.
Right, Prabhu. But now one thing that I've been seeing, but I just overlook it. But these days, like because of the trains, I know I'm not sure.
Hmm.
People are taking the Bal Gopala, like the small,
Yeah, yeah.
the pital brass,
I have them. Yeah. Yeah.
but they take them everywhere.
That is their
With
mood.
them.
That is their mood. They want to carry them because they feel a real. Bal Gopal is like a child. They don't want to
Right.
leave it alone.
But is it okay to take? But I don't think you can take everywhere that with you, is it?
It's the mood, man.
Okay.
Because they think Krishna is my Lala. How
Yeah.
can I leave my Lala at home?
Right.
If you think Krishna is my child, then you are going out, then who's going to take care of Krishna then? So they carry Krishna with them.
Right.
It's fine.
So
No,
when you travel, you can take a
yes,
Krishna idol
yes,
with you.
you can,
Okay.
or you have friend or this someone, you can give them to take care of them while you are traveling. Sometimes it's not e- feasible. You will not be able to carry take care of them. You can do that as well.
But I heard that if you, let's say, if you carry, but if you are in the flight or somewhere, what to offer as a food?
Krishna is happy with tulsi. Krishna is happy with the fruit. No problem at all.
Okay. I just don't know. There's too many questions and
I know
all
this is
that,
fine. That's why I said, like, example, I travel, I cannot carry my deities with me. So my friend, they take care of them while I'm not here. That's also fine.
But then if the friends are like some of most of the friends, they are not like a Vaishnavas.
Lord, I understood. Lord sees the intention. So you can't travel with them. You can't take them with. You cannot take them with you. You can't drop off to your friend. You can make them sleep at home. Okay, Krishna sees our intentions.
Okay. I see. Thank you.
Wonderful. Any other questions? All good? Perfect. Then we will continue next week. Is that okay with everyone? Naresh Prabhu, you want to add something?
No, Prabhuji, I'm good. Prabhuji, I joined at 6:30 from my mobile. Prabhuji, I was in for some reason I was in what is guest room. I was
Ah,
waiting for 5 minutes,
I'm
then came home
sorry.
and joined from the computer. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. I don't know why it happened like that. Sorry about
No problem, Prabhuji. Even I want to check, my mobile. I think it got logged out for some reason.
Hare
I was
Krishna.
outside, Prabhuji. Yeah, just 5 minutes late.
No problem at all, Prabhuji. So we will continue next week. Thank you so much. La Prabhupada ki
Yeah.
jai.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you
Hare
so much.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Krishna.
thank you.